The African National Congress has voiced deep concern over a government gazette that was issued yesterday by the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, Malatsi. In fact, I think that was on Friday. The party warns that the new policy directions risk undermining South Africa's regulatory and transformation frameworks while threatening the integrity of the country's ICT and postal sectors. Speaking to SABC News, Minister Malatsi says there's no intention to amend legislation as there's no such instruction in the new policy directions. He says what he gazetted were merely a policy framework that was meant for consideration based on tabled provisions and that no scheduled amendments were commanded. Malatsi says everything was done within the confines of the law.
The provisions, as I said to you, there is no attempt to amend legislation here. We are dealing about regulations. There is no instruction to ICASA here. We are saying to ICASA, the policy direction stipulates that urgently consider, which means that they must be able to engage with what I have tabulated in the policy direction and consider that. That is how it works. That is what is provided for in law. So if people don't like what is provided for in law, or they don't like whoever has the responsibility of taking decisions in enforcing the empowerment laws of the country, that is the struggle they must reconcile with. The facts of the matter are that I've done everything consistent with my powers. I've done everything consistent with the provisions of the Electronic Communications Act, and I've done everything consistent with what is required in terms of a public participation process as we went out to it. It is very clear that obviously because it's a policy issue, that there are different political views on this issue, and that is what is manifesting itself in that. But to claim or create an impression that this is overreach, that this is not within the provisions of the law, is quite frankly not the truth. Alicia, you may know or not know that equity equivalent investment programs are not a sudden invention by myself. They have been part of the instruments of empowerment. They have been part of the instruments of investments in our democratic South Africa. And they are currently recognized because they are used in other sectors, even including in the ICT sector.